Okay, everybody, we'll be starting again soon, so please make your way to your seats. All right. Okay. So next, we're going to have a reflection activity. This is going to be facilitated by Dave Nakashima. Dave Nakashima is a professional facilitator and did the reflection activities last time. And I remember we had to write letters to ourselves. And one day I got a letter in the mail, and I forgot what it was completely, and I opened it, and it was very meaningful. So I know that this will be just as meaningful as what it was last time. So Dave Nakashima is going to come now. Okay, and let's all welcome Dave. Yes.
Thank you, Brand. You may have noticed there are a lot of Nakashimas on the agenda, but I want to be clear, it's not because of nepotism, because, oh wait, Gabi is my daughter, but Brand is no relation, but okay, it is nepotism. Okay, all right. Just want to be clear about that. Okay, so folks, I know we have traveled a great distance over the past couple days with one another on this journey. And for some, it's been well, let's put it this way. I think if everyone here is on their own individual journey around reflecting upon Crystal City, then the experience of incarceration if you're a descendant, as well as perhaps learning more about the issues if you're here as an ally. So I think one of the important things to do about being together is not necessarily, well, no, let me reframe it. I think what's important has been one of the themes of this pilgrimage is how the issues faced in late 30s, early 40s relate to modern, current issues. And I think what we need to do is remind ourselves after we leave the shared space together what this is all about. And this is what I'm hoping this time will allow us to do. So you've already begun this process with the Suru activity, but reflection is an intentional time to pause and examine our own experiences at the pilgrimage. And they're different, because as I said before, we're on different places on our journey. I'm going to look to one of my daughters to help me. One is distributing resources, Camila. We just kind of redid the slides in the moment. So we're doing this kind of in the moment. So I'm hoping not everyone's like me as a stereotypical Sansei male where I repress all my feelings and push them way down. So I'm hoping this will be an opportunity for everyone to increase their own self-awareness of what this shared experience meant, to possibly unpack any emotions and thoughts, because my experience on the bus, my experience in discussions, for some folks, this was a very powerful experience. And not all of us are comfortable expressing our feelings and thoughts. Hopefully it'll reduce some stress, anxiety you may be feeling. It'll build relationships and continue to build a sense of community. And even though I stopped any kind of intellectual, spiritual growth many decades ago, for some of you, maybe this will facilitate self-growth, I hope. So, quick story about growth. I was like the only non-white kid in all through elementary school. So back in the day, they used to line up, the professional photographer for the class pictures would line you up by height. So I was always the first picture being taken. And my grandpa thought that I was the smartest kid in every class. Because, oh, David, first picture, so I must be. Anyway, so I just thought I'd share that inappropriate story with you. Because I broke most Japanese American stereotypes that I was not academically high achieving, I was not hardworking, I was not considerate of others. So, Gabi, are all the supplies? You can tell I'm stalling here. Okay, so supplies have been distributed. Okay, Gabi, so we go to the next slide. So, what we're gonna...
I feel like it's very
some insight into family
easy.
dynamics, isn't it? So, what I'm going to ask you to do is, in one moment, is to think and reflect upon what are one of your takeaways. I'm sure you have many takeaways, but what's one takeaway that you want to really focus on? Okay? You heard that Michael Omi was quoted a couple times during our program, but I would like to quote Diane Yamashiro Omi. And for those of you who don't know, she funded my first job in 1985 through the Asian Community Employment Training Fund, doing refugee resettlement positions. But Diane said earlier in one of our sessions that this is about taking away moments we will remember. So these are things I want you to think about, things that we will remember. So think about that. What are some things that you want to remember? And then I believe in the center of each table will either be some index cards or some cut construction paper, which I'm going to ask you to treat as a postcard. And what I want you to do is write yourself a note. Okay? Things that you want to remember from this experience. It may be the journey to Crystal City itself. It may be experiencing the incredible welcoming community of Crystal City. And Crystal City is a community that has been so gracious and loving. It may be a connection to the larger social movements, issues that perhaps maybe you're quite familiar with, you're quite involved with, but maybe for some folks this is new. Getting involved and taking political action is new. But all these things fit into the pilgrimage. It's the experience of going to Crystal City as survivors, descendants, and allies. It's the relationship, community building with Crystal City. And it's the tie, the alignment to larger social movements, social justice issues that we need to be aware of. So take a couple moments, think about what you're taking away from this shared experience, and write yourself a note. Write yourself a card, and this will be mailed to you in 30 days. So what you'll do is you'll forget about this omiyage, this regalo, this gift from yourself, and you'll get it in the mail in 30 days. And you'll be reminded of what you were experiencing here. We will make special accommodations to mail 1 postcard to Peru, 2 cards to this country that's above our country. We share a large border with this country. I understand it's called Canada, and also maybe a couple that may be going to Japan. So we'll figure that out, okay? So write yourself a note. What do you want to remember? What are you taking away? What is a memory you have? What is something you want to remind yourself about in 30 days? How you'll continue this journey. You'll take political action. You'll be a political ally. You'll learn more. Yeah, so I'll give you a couple minutes to do this. And address one side of the envelope to yourself, and the card, and the other side will be where you're writing. So this is going old school. Address one side of the I keep saying that, the index card, the fabricated postcard. You can see that we were running around in the moment, switching out the activity. But write yourself a note. Things you want to remember. Address one side of the card as a letter to self, and the other side write yourself a note. If someone's joining your table, bring them up to speed so you can share what the activity is. Gabi has supplies over there. Gabi and Brian have supplies if you need. So if you're just coming into the room and you want to keep a low profile, that's tough. You need to do this activity, letter to self of reflection. So Gabi, Brian, there are folks coming in the room. If maybe you could give them supplies and quickly just describe what we're doing.
We don't have to sign it. Oh, it's to yourself. Okay, sorry.
You can sign them by an alias or by your own given name. That's up to you. If you just came in the room, you could just raise your hand and we'll get supplies to you and we'll explain to you what's going on. So we want to be as inclusive as possible here. Just a couple more minutes. And other than Aaron Shigaki's card that I'll read and write my comments, all other ones will be confidential, I assure you.
Don't worry.
Okay, as folks are wrapping up, I did say your cards would be confidential, and I do mean that. But I also want to make sure there's an opportunity for you all to share with one another, because I think there's something about publicly proclaiming something or sharing to build a sense of community is a very powerful thing. So I'm going to ask people to either paraphrase, read, or summarize their cards and share with each other at your table. You don't have to read verbatim, but unless you want to, but just share with people what you're taking away from the pilgrimage and perhaps what you captured on your cards. Does that make sense? Sorry, that was a little complicated. But before you do that, I do want to ask table 6 to join table 8, just so we could have numbers of people. I'm going to ask the Suru community if you could split up maybe and go to different tables just so we can fill in spaces. And table 19, if you don't mind joining table 16, just so we can make sure we have people at each table. And I'm just going to ask you to take a couple minutes each and share with each other either specifically what you wrote on your card or summarize your card or what you are taking away. Also, I want to give permission. I know people are sitting in families. If you want to stay there, that's great. If you want to move to another table, that's fine too. Just make sure everyone feels comfortable sharing. Okay? So, thank you, Aaron. Yeah, thanks, Rob. Yeah, just folks kind of join in. Yeah. Do we need to have the tables in the back there, staff? Sunny, Debbie? Okay? Yeah? Okay. I'm going to take a big risk with you. I've been able to interact with you the past couple days. I know there are some people around this table, and I'll make no eye contact. There's some people here that are more generous with their verbal gifts to the group. People that just are more comfortable taking up space. So no eye contact. So I'm going to ask the quieter people, if you feel so comfortable, to share first. And for people that are more generous with their ideas, if you could just be aware of how much space you take, so we can just make sure we hear all voices. Okay, I just want to make sure we hear all voices. Okay, no eye contact. So go ahead, please share what's on your cards, and I'll check in with you in about 10 minutes. Okay? to. Some folks ask me why some tables why do most all tables have boxes of tissues? Why does table 9 have 2 boxes of tissues? It's because the original activity was going to be an incredible experience of forced intimacy that I was going to make you do around sharing feelings and emotions, but that was changed. But it's the person that's traveled the furthest at your table that can take home the box of tissues. I also wanted to ask you all just to think about how powerful it is to do deep listening with each other, right? To be in community where you're sharing your stories, you're sharing your perspectives, and they're being heard. So I just wanted to just mention that. That's just an incredible thing that we're modeling, and that's a very powerful thing that doesn't always happen. So what I also wanted to ask before we transition, before we close out, does anyone want to share something that they're taking away from the conversation from their table group without telling someone else's story? So please, you do not need to tell the group what someone else has shared, but is there anything that struck you or something that you want to share with the rest of the community that you're taking away from either that you wrote or what you heard from someone else? And Camila is going to be the mic runner, so we'll go over to Elaine at table 9. Just quick comments, please.
We have 2 Kleenex boxes because we're also responsible about following directions, and somebody told us to bring, and we're all in different hotel rooms, so we're so obedient. No, I'm just going to share the sticker that we were given together, we remember, and for me, and it came up generally, not only to be in community with our family and friends, but then all the togetherness we saw, whether it was the City of Crystal City and the partnership and the planning committee and just this idea that together we're stronger, together as we remember and honor, but also together we can hopefully move forward. And I'm so inspired by so much I heard here, the different groups, just even our bus leader and how wonderful her energy was and how much she shared with us. Yes, Carissa. So
It's Carissa Tom.
Together remember, and together we go forward.
Thank you. Camila, there's a hand up. I don't see a table number. 13.
Hi, mine's not emotional at all. It's just kind of think about. I'm Chinese, but I came because my sister and brother-in-law, who's Japanese American, told me about the trip. So I'm retired now, so I'm trying to make my retirement full of experiences and learning and things like that. So one thing I'm taking away is gifting or telling your friends or family about the pilgrimage. Invite them in general, whether you're going to another one or not. Gift them a trip, if you can, and give them a lasting memory, educational memory, and make it a positive experience to learn from.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to share from what they heard at their table or a takeaway? I respond to Papa Knock now. That is a nickname I'm a little uncomfortable with, but I've been deemed. Aaron.
Well, I reflected that the way I feel among everybody this weekend and here in this room, this collective memory and power, like I want to bring it with me and carry it with me and let it block out all the negative energy that's in the world right now, and remember that we're going to win because we are so strong and we're doing it. We're doing the work of building community together. And I'm so grateful for this pilgrimage and the way everyone showed up.
Thank you. Any other thoughts? Any other sharing? Oh, over here, Camila. Over to Hiromi-san. Table 8, please.
I would like to share kind of essay that I made before I came here. I will read it because I'm afraid I will take too long if I don't. The story of the deportation of Japanese and their Peruvian children to the United States represents a very sensitive and painful chapter in the collective imagination of the Nikkei community in Peru. More than 1,700 people were uprooted from their homes, stripped of their belongings and shipped off to the United States, a place unknown to them, Peru turning its back on them, and a distant Japan. But the story doesn't end with uprooting. Along with the pain and suffering, we remember and highlight resilience. We remember the mothers and wives, the fathers who worked, who passed on values, hard work, patience and effort, and the children who studied and played in the fields. All of them rebuilt their lives in Japan, the United States, and some in Peru. But I want to highlight two important figures as leaders of the Nikkei community who returned to Peru. Probably the most prominent figure in the first half of the story of Japanese immigration was Ichitaro Morimoto, a businessman born in Tottori Prefecture and the principal architect of the statue of Manco Cápac. Mr. Morimoto served as chairman of the committee responsible for preparing the Japanese gift to Peru for its centennial. Morimoto was one of the founders of the Japan Central Society, now Japanese Peruvian Association, APJ, and was its president for 6 terms. He also was the founder and president of the La Unión Stadium Association, AELU, one of the country's leading sport clubs. He wanted to find a field where young people could practice sports with the motto of a healthy mind in a healthy body for the new generations who are the hope of tomorrow. The second one is Mr. Diro Hasegawa. When he returned from Crystal City, he saw that Japanese immigrants were still hidden and incommunicated, so he decided to create a newspaper, Peru Shimpo, to create a way of communication. Even though he knew nothing about editing a newspaper, he spoke with many people to learn how a newspaper should be made and what machinery was needed. He went door to door in Lima and the provinces, places near Lima, seeking for support. He asked Japanese immigrants to contribute with a voluntary donation so as to make the project a reality. He also built an auditorium in the building of Peru Shimpo so immigrants and their families could have a place to gather together and enjoy musical or art productions. Both institutions remain in place until today. This year, Peru Shimpo is celebrating 75 years of foundation and AELU 72. The pilgrimage to Crystal City is a symbolic act, not only to remember the past, but also to highlight how fragile it can be to respect civil rights in times of instability, fear, and war, in the name of security. At the museum, of Japan Immigration Bureau. We must thank the families and individuals for their testimonies and their commitments to ensuring that their stories are told and not lost in oblivion. As Mr. Higashiga said, adios to tears, but not to memories and stories. Thank you.
Thank you, Hiromi. Thank you. That is Hiromi Maeguchiku, and for those of you who had not had a chance to meet Hiromi, she is the director of the Japanese Immigration to Peru Museum in Lima. So, very significant that she joined us from Lima. I did request that she bring me some chaufa, but that did not happen. So speaking of chaufa, I'm going to hand things over to our co-chairs that will begin to close us out. I want to thank you for this activity. I'm going to ask Carissa and any other people on the planning team to go by the tables and pick up the cards, please, so we don't lose them. So any other planning committee members, if you don't mind assisting, just if you could pick up the cards from each of the tables, that would be wonderful. And the reflection doesn't stop now. The reflection will continue. And thank you very much. I'm going to hand things back over to Gabi.
Thank you, Dave. So we are changing a little bit, the program a little bit. We are going to do evaluations, which are being handed out right now. They are 2 pages, and so we apologize. They did not print double-sided, but we would love to hear your feedback. So we will have about 10-15 minutes for evaluations, and then we are going to close the program before lunch. Thank you all. Okay, thank you all for filling out your eval forms. You can leave them on the tables and we'll collect them after when you all go get lunch. You can keep filling them out and we will collect them. You can also leave them on the table by Densho on the way out and we will be sure to collect them. And we will now close our program.
It's really nice to be told that you're going to have to speak a little earlier than planned, because then you miss out on that whole extra hour of anxiety. I'd like to give my final shout out for the pilgrimage, and that's to all of you. Your warm, friendly faces are a major part of what inspires us to plan these pilgrimages. Please give yourselves and each other a nice round of applause. And so we'd like to thank you all for attending the 2025 Crystal City Pilgrimage. We hope you have found our time together rewarding and it has met or exceeded your expectations. We've had the opportunity to hear stories and speak to people representing around 20 groups and organizations during the pilgrimage. If we had heard some of these stories shared the past few days without an introduction or names, would we have easily known which stories were from World War II and which ones were from the present day? I miss my parents more than anything. But I'm glad they don't have to see what is currently happening in this country and how atrocities are reoccurring from over 80 years ago. When I started to think about what I would say to you at this point of the pilgrimage, I thought I should ask Carissa what they were planning to say for the pilgrimage opening and try to tie that together. But after hearing their poignant speech, I was rather intimidated. Fortunately, they provided a straightforward connection. As Carissa stated, pilgrimage is an invitation. So we hope you are glad you accepted our invitation to Crystal City. And if you felt rage and grief, we also hope you felt love, community, and solidarity. We hope you also felt peace, healing, and pride, as Mayor Sherda mentioned at the memorial program. But in these times, we need more than hope. We need hope and action. We hope you feel inspired to get more involved, whether it be pilgrimage planning or signing the amicus brief, which can be done right now. We hope you all understand the need to continue to fight for justice and liberty for all, and especially for those who may be unable to fight for themselves. Thank you.
Now you got to bear with me, the old guy. I have one question. Did y'all enjoy this pilgrimage? Well, if you did, we are offering you the opportunity to become a part of it for 2027, our next pilgrimage. We can use all of the volunteers that are willing to come on board. And I can assure you, the experience is extraordinary. The camaraderie of the group is unbelievable. And if you volunteer to join our effort, you will become a part of it. So please let us know that you're interested, and we want you, and especially, well, you all have skills, I know that. And so if you could come aboard with yourself and your skills, we want you. So please let us know. And related to that, in order to keep our pilgrimages going and our preservation efforts, we need money. So if you have any extra funds in your accounts, please send them our way. We have envelopes that you receive with your package, or you can donate online at our website. So please do so. Thank you.
We would like to end with gratitude. Again, I want to echo Brian's thanks to all of you for coming on this pilgrimage, for spending time together in reflection, in community, and solidarity. Both of our solidarity activities this morning highlighted the importance of intergenerational gatherings like this, and this has felt really special and powerful, and we hope you come back. There are many people who made this pilgrimage happen outside of this committee. We would like to thank all of the speakers and panelists, our Crystal City friends, our San Antonio friends like Natalie. We want to acknowledge the incredible hotel staff here and the justice-involved crew who helped with setup and takedown yesterday, and everyone else who supported us these past few days. We also want to give a big shout out to our health and safety team, especially for keeping us safe during this weekend. So thank you all very much, specifically Shoshana and Carissa as our leads. Thank you. And Susie and Sunny and Carly and Karen. And Emily, thank you all so much. I want to also thank Brian and Hiroshi for being incredible co-chairs. It has been such a deep, deep honor to be able to work with them. At this time, we want to bring up our board. That is Kaz, Hiroshi, Victor, Diane, myself, Ruben, Becky, and Carissa to please come on stage. We've given a few shout outs this weekend. We want to shout out this board for really leading our work. We also want to shout out Becky. Becky Shibayama Brian's sister, who has dedicated so much time and energy to this pilgrimage. She is on the planning committee, the education programming committee, the museum committee, and the booklet committee. So thank you, Becky. This is, oh, okay. Okay, thank you to the board. We would also like now for the Pilgrimage Planning Committee, the entire committee, to come up and be recognized. This is also Shoshana, Rob, Tootie, Grace Morizawa, Camila, Josie, Bran, Tommy. Please come, Shoshana.
Grace Morizawa. Oh, Jill?
Jill.
Thank you.
Advertise for my service.
Yeah, for a picture.
You should be there. Get one more shot. Yay!
Get the picture. Maybe we just name it. Okay.
Everyone's singer. Oh, please. Oh my God. Also, well, Frankie's not here.
We also want to thank Frankie Hernandez, who could not be here, who is with NPS and worked so hard on the brochures that you all received yesterday for the site tour. Karen, you also are here. I'm so sorry.
Everybody with cameras, come back.
Okay, so sorry everyone. One more photo, and then we will end.
Get a picture.
He's okay.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Okay, we are going to close the pilgrimage with a Tanka poem that Brian has written.
So in researching for the pilgrimage, we came across the Tekisesu Shisa Poetry Club, which was a Tanka poetry a group in the Crystal City camp. A Tanka poem is similar to a haiku, but instead of 575, it is 57577. So I wrote a simple Tanka poem which recaps our time together and which we will read for you. And if you're able to stand, we ask that you stand with us. Pilgrims assembled. Oh, yeah, sorry. Ready?
Together? Okay.
Oh, wait.
You don't have to slide up.
Just assist.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Pilgrims assembled, stood in solidarity to raise our voices, stop repeating history. We're neighbors, not enemies. What did we say?
We're neighbors, not enemies.
No, actually, sorry. This wasn't- what did we say? Stop repeating history. Who are we? We're neighbors, not enemies. What did we say?
Stop repeating history.
Who are we?
We're neighbors, not enemies.
See you all in 2 years.